Alright, so there's a few things that you're going to need for this knife. You're going to need a piece of metal to actually make your knife out of. You're going to need a measuring tape, a Sharpie to mark where you're going to cut your lines. You're going to need some paracord for the handle, or you could optionally use wood for the handle. I'm going to be showing you how to do a paracord wrapped handle though. They've always been a lot more comfortable for me, and they've just worked better. For machinery wise, you're going to want an angle grinder with a cutoff wheel. And after that, you're going to need a belt sander to actually do the bevels. And optionally, you can have a metal file to put the finishing sharpness on the blade. Now to start, you're just going to want to put Sharpie lines on the metal of where you're going to cut it out with your angle grinder. There aren't a ton of lines for this particular knife. It's just going to be a double-bladed dagger, so to speak. There's one line right here, not sure if you guys can see that. There's a line right there for the end of the knife. So the knife is going to be this long, and then this is the point. So you can just draw whatever design you want. You can find some stuff on Google, or you can just go completely creative and make a really cool, unique blade. And once you have the design completely copied out and everything, and you're happy with it, you can go ahead and cut it out with the angle grinder. I just got the first line cut out on this side, so I'm going to go ahead and cut this one off now. And after you get all the sides cut off of the tip, you're just going to want to take your file and clean off all the burrs. And now you can go ahead and just cut your length line out. Well, we can see where this build's going. So the cut here was off a little bit. That was bad on my part. But this line is pretty straight, and I can just clean this up with the belt sander. So let's go ahead and do that. This is a non-sponsored cup of water for cooling your metal down when it gets really hot. So after you dry it all off, go ahead and hold a measuring tape to the blade, see its overall length, and then mark. I'm going to mark it about 4.5 inches for my handle. Once you have that line drawn out, go ahead and hold it in your hand, and if you can see the Sharpie, let's see if I can get that to focus. Yeah, but if you can see the Sharpie line, then that's a good handle. If you have a little bit on each side, that's good, and it'll be comfortable to hold when you're done. One thing that I actually forgot you're gonna need for this build is a drill bit, but you aren't actually gonna like drill with it. What you're gonna do is you're gonna outline the edge of your blade with Sharpie, and after you have that, you're gonna put the drill bit, which is the same diameter as your metal, and you're gonna scratch out a perfectly straight center line on that metal for beveling. There's the marker, and there's the line. I actually realized something that I can do that would look pretty cool. So right above your handle line, I'm just drawing two little like indentions that I'm going to cut out with my angle grinder. But you don't have to do this because it will madly affect the structural integrity of your knife, and it might bend right here because that's a big weak spot. So I'm doing it, but you don't have to. So this is just what I was doing. I was just making these little lines in here that I could further tear out with a pair of vice grips. And then I'm just going to take my sanding wheel on my angle grinder and then make it really smooth and like a... Now I'm just going to do that on the other side. I just did it on the other side, so now I'm going to go over to the vise and I'm going to take these little notches out with some vice grips. And once you manage to get that side done, just flip it over and do it on the other side. So I know what you're thinking. This is absolutely beautiful. So, no, this turned out like really bad, but I'm gonna see what the flat disc and the grinding wheel can do on this piece of garbage. Well, frick, mate, if I actually get that on this side, that might actually not look too bad. Huh? Yeah, that actually doesn't look too bad, actually. I mean, it's really weak there now, so if you, like, stab into, like, a watermelon or something and then twist, it would have a slight chance of breaking right there, but for the aesthetic effect, it actually looks pretty good. So next, I'm just gonna bevel along this edge until it reaches the center point, and then I'm gonna flip it and do the other edge so it's, like, really sharp on one side. And then I'll do the other side, of course. I'm sorry, my dad's mowing right now, but so I'm gonna heat treat the knife right now. What that means is that I'm gonna get it really, really hot and then I'm gonna cool it down really, really fast. And that will get the metal to expand and then contract in on itself. So I have some pine, like really, really dry pine right there. I have some wood and I have some coals in there that hopefully will heat up. This copper pipe, I'm just gonna blow through the end of it and that'll heat up the coals even more. Once the coals start getting hot and everything starts getting nice and toasty, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna put the knife like under it sort of and blow on the pipe, and that'll get it really, really, really hot. And then once it's pretty hot, I'm gonna take it out with that pitchfork over there and I'm going to quench it in just water because I don't have any like quenching oil or stuff like that. So I'll go ahead and heat it up now and I'll cut back to it when it's ready to be quenched. And after you quench it, you just want to rub off all the color with some sandpaper. And after you got the knife all sanded off, you just want to stick it in the oven for about 1.5 hours to 2 hours until it turns like a golden wheat sort of color. And here it is after the temper, and I'm going to go ahead and add the paracord wrap handle on it now. And there it is with the paracord wrap handle on it. I'm going to go ahead and do some work on a whetstone to get it really sharp, and then I'll come back when it's completely finished. And there you go. Once you've put the finishing edge on it, you have yourself a pretty effective double-edged dagger. So if you made this along with me, congratulations, you got yourself a pretty nice piece of equipment. And it's thick steel too, so it should take a beating if you want to put it through one. So yeah, my next video should be up within, I don't know, a week and a half maybe. And if you've made it this far in the video, go ahead and like if you did, subscribe if you want to, and see you next video.